Hi everyone, this is Dee with the Paper Drawer. I'm going to share with you today some of the techniques that I use to distress the edges of papers and also how I coffee dye. I did have a request that someone was asking me about distressing edges and how to distress, the center of a paper so it doesn't look like, the marks from the pad. So I just thought I'd share it. I know it's pretty elementary, but there are people out there that are just either getting started or they've never done it before, or they're doing it and they're not really sure what's causing or the reason why they're getting the results and they're not happy with it. So this is just my way. A lot of you may have your own way, but I just thought I would share it. So I'm going to do the inking first. And there's a lot of tools. A lot of people use this tool. When I first got mine, I used it strictly for alcohol inks. It worked really, really well. It's just a little piece of felt, and it has Velcro on the applicator. This happened to be a Tim Holtz. Ink Essentials is another brand. Exact same thing. And this is an older package. I think I found it at Goodwill. It's Tim Holtz Adirondacks. It's alcohol ink applicator, but again, people use it for distress inks. So that's two of them. That's one thing you can use. Here's another one. This is just a basic applicator. Tim Holtz makes them, and I think now other people do too. So this comes off. It's Velcro again, and I didn't bring another one of these, so I apologize. That's Velcro I made, but this just sticks on like this, okay? And then that's your applicator. Okay. So that's another type of applicator. This is a domed one. I don't know if Ranger makes a domed one, but this is from, I think it's Paper Studio. It's a Hobby Lobby. So that's just another one. The thing with this one is you're not going to probably be able to get into corners with it because it's domed. But again, it works. I thought I would try it. A lot of people have it. So that's another one. And here are these two little finger things. I'm sure everyone has seen these. And then you just, go around the paper. Okay, so that's another type. These come off. I don't know if they're replaceable or not. It's just on with like a double-sided tape. You might be able to find replacements for them. Again, this is fairly new. I just bought these last week just to try them. So that's another type. These I made. I made them in 2020. And basically, it's the same principle, but these are actually candle holders. I got they come unfinished. I got them at Hobby Lobby. And then I just took a marking pen and I just started decorating them. They're kind of fun. I just thought maybe I might be able to hold it a little bit better, different, but it works the same. And then what I did was I got kind of, I think Joann's calls it industrial strength Velcro, and it's sticky. And so I just cut it to the diameter of this, and then it stuck. So I just put my little pads on it, and I go. Sorry, my fingers. So that's another idea that you could do. If you need a lot of these, then you might want to go this route, just unfinished. And then after I drew on them and designed them, I went ahead and just put a sealer over it because I'd be touching it all the time. Okay, so those are just some ideas. Okay, so I'm actually sitting down this time. I have some inks, and I'll just kind of show you how I do it. Again, everyone has their own way, but let me just show you. I like to use frayed burlap. It's got a little green tone to it, but I like it, okay? I love Walnut Stain. It's a little bit darker than Vintage Photo. A lot of people use Vintage Photo. Sometimes I think Vintage Photo has a little bit too much red in it, but I like it. The other good thing too is you can combine these. So that's kind of cool. What I normally do is I'll put one on just roughly, and then I'll go back and pick up another color and apply it. I'll use the same applicator. Okay. My sister gave me the idea of using chip sapphire. I love the results, and I'll show you that. It's turned out really, really well. But it's another one, and I just tap the same applicator in it as I use these other three. Okay, so I think I'll use Walnut Stain. It's kind of my favorite. I'll just do it on this white piece of paper. Hopefully it turns out. Oops, sorry, the camera's shaking. So all I do is I just do this. Sometimes I'll go over the edge onto the paper. Sometimes I'll just run it this way, and I like the results. Okay, and then if I want a little bit more, I'll just be a little more aggressive, and I'll just put it on. If I want to come inside, I'll just do the same thing. I think the key to this too sometimes is don't set it down, because then you'll get the circle mark. And to get rid of that, then just blend it out. And you can just make a circular motion too to blend it out. Okay, so you can do something like that. Okay, it's just that you're going to create a larger area inside. And on the corners, sometimes I'll go just a little bit more inside the paper. And I'll just do this. And then the darker you want it, but just keep it moving. Okay, so this is the Walnut Stain. And then what I'll do, per my sister, I'll just come in with chip sapphire, and I'll just go over it lightly. It kind of just darkens the area. It does, of course, give a little blue tint to it. If it's too much blue for you, just go back over it with a walnut, a vintage photo, or something else. But I really like that result. She gets really good results with it also, but that's what it kind of looks like. And again, I can go in with frayed burlap, okay? Dab my sponge in there, the same one, and just go over it again if I've got too much blue. Of course, it's going to make it a little bit darker, but I don't mind that. I like that. Okay, so you can just do this. When I do the center of the page, I use frayed burlap. I won't just stick my applicator down. I'll go ahead and just lightly brush it here and there, just so that you don't get, I'm holding it, that's how come it's a little bit difficult, so you don't get this circle mark like that. So just keep moving it, and you can get a really nice effect. And if you want it a little darker, you can do it, you know, press a little harder on it. And up here you can just do this. And sometimes that's all you might want, you might need. But this is caused by this. So again, just keep it moving and you'll get a soft effect. Here's a piece of, let me get the walnut. Here's Tim Holtz scrapbook paper. Let me just show you on this. Here's the torn edge. I'll do this to it first. I don't mind the white. I think it looks a little more truer. I know sometimes people will tear this way so that they don't get the white, but I kind of like the white, so I'll do it both ways. So this still has a little bit of blue in it, or on it, if you can tell. Okay. So when that has too much blue, I'll go in with Walnut Stain again, and I'll just go over it. But I think that's really pretty. I really like that effect. And sometimes I'll come in a little bit with the ink. But that's what that looks like. I like that. Okay. And here's this side. So I'm just going to use the same one. And here it's torn with the white on it, but that's okay. And I just like to darken this edge. and it's got the blue in it still, and it still has the walnut. I like the walnut because it's dark. Whoops, sorry, it's shaking. So I just go in like this, and I like to bring mine in just a little bit so it's not just strictly on the edge, okay? Then I'll use my sapphire again, just lightly because it's really a strong color. And then I'll just kind of tap it. I won't maybe do the whole line, but I'll just kind of tap it, okay? Then if I want to go in the center and kind of darken that, I won't press down real hard, but I'll just start doing this to it. And again, as you know, you can always add to it, so you don't want to, you know, make it really, really dark the first time. So I don't know if you can see that, but it is turning blue. Okay, and I can add just a little bit more. I'm not going to put the paper on the table because I'm shaking the camera, so I apologize. So here's some blue you can see. And again, you may not want to do it on this paper, but I'm just kind of showing you as an example. So I'll get the walnut again, put it on my applicator. If that's too much blue, then I'll just go over it. And I'll go different ways. I won't just do this, but I'll go different ways just so it's kind of random. Okay, and then this is kind of the area that you get. Okay, you can do the same thing here too. If you run it like this, your sponge is going to get a little bit chopped up, but that's okay. That's why you have spares. Okay, so I can just run it along the edge there, run it down the side here. Okay, and that's how you do that. Not enough on here for that, but that's how you kind of get a random, and you can keep kind of going with this. This is a little bit too heavy. It's kind of like pushing down too hard. So if you just keep it moving and probably do it in a rotation, I think you'll get some random things and go back and forth. Again, just remember not to press down real hard, otherwise you'll get this circle. Okay, so that's on white paper. Okay, I'm going to show you how I coffee dye. It might seem strange, but it works for me. And I've tried all different ways when I first started. I tried dipping it. I tried to put it in the oven. I've done a lot of things just to try it. But this way I find is the easiest for me. So let me see if I can raise the camera. I might have to stand up for this. Let me see if I can raise this a little bit. So what I do is, let me move this chair. What I do is I get a piece of plastic, and I just happen to get this at a rummage sale. And I just, you know, kind of cut it up. Okay, it's a Christmas one. So I just, excuse me, we'll turn it over. Okay, I won't do a lot of this, but so what I do is I use a jar. It's a peach jar. Okay, and usually this is filled up. When I coffee dye, I'll use at least 2 of these bottles because I want to do a lot. Then I won't have to do it again. And then I have a spray bottle. Okay. Then I have these Tim Holtz spray bottles. I got about 4 or 5 of them. And I have different degrees of shades, the darkness of it. Some's dark, some's really light. Okay. So I do that. And then I also put a little bit of alcohol in the spray bottles. Otherwise it'll mold. And I have had it mold on me. So I can't really tell you how much, but I'll fill the bottle and then I'll pour some alcohol in it, okay? And that'll prevent it from molding. And again, I've had this for quite a while, but the alcohol has prevented it from getting mold in it. Same with these little ones. I haven't used this one very much, but I did put alcohol in it. Okay, so that's a good little tip. So what I do is I use a foam brush. Now you may think that this is pretty laborious, and it actually goes pretty fast for me. And I think some of you have seen the great cardboard that I have that I lay these on. And then I take it outside. It's pretty warm here in Georgia, so I just line them up, and by the time I line them up and start another piece of cardboard, then it's dry. So I just keep running back and forth outside my workroom, and I just turn it this way. I just keep putting it on the cardboard. I can only get maybe 8-10 sheets. It depends on what I'm coffee dyeing. But basically what I do is I'll dunk the brush in here. I'll get it really wet, and then all I do is I paint it on. Now I added water to this, so this one's a little bit light. I probably added too much water, but you'll get the idea. Okay. Again, I know it's a little laborious, and some of you may not want to take the time to do this, but I find for me, I have a little bit better control. And also, too, it dries pretty fast because I'm not saturating the paper. So I'll just flip it over, and then I'll just do this side quickly. And some of the coffee on the other side that's on this plastic, it'll absorb, it'll show the color. So I'll do that, okay? And then that paper's ready to go. Again, the coffee's really light on this. Don't know if you could see it, probably not really good on camera. It shines. I apologize for that. And the other thing that I'll do sometimes with one of these that are pretty dark, I'll go ahead and just spray it, and just not spray it all the way, and then you get these droplets, okay? And that's the way it'll dry. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to lay it right on the cardboard just like that, okay? Again, I'm sorry that's shining. So I just put it on the cardboard, and it'll run. It'll do all different things, and that's good. That's fine. And then here's some samples of ones that I've done quickly. They're calendars, but I like how they've turned out. Sometimes I'll really saturate it. Sometimes I won't. Okay, and then let me show you how I do my doilies. So if you want the imprint of a doily, this is how I do mine. I'll get the paper all wet with coffee. I'll do both sides. That coffee is really shiny. I apologize for that shine. Okay, so that's kind of what it looks like. It's, you know, the little bubbles are fine. Then what I'll do is, here's a big doily. I bought a bunch of doilies from Germany off of eBay because I wanted something different. So that was a really big placemat or cake thing. So what I sometimes will do is I'll just tear it, and then I'll just lay them on here like this. And then what I do is I saturate this with coffee. Okay. I just really lay it on. If I don't think that's enough, then I'll keep doing it. And sometimes I'll do this. I'll just really put it on there. Okay, so that's how I do a doily. And then let me show you one that I've done, and let me show you the results of what I get. So that was the doily. This is a little bit different doily, but this is what I get. Okay. A little bit on the other side, but this is what I'll get. And then here's a square one. I like this, how it's even darker on the edge. Okay. But that's how I get my doilies looking like this. And then it's a great little page or whatever, okay? You can use different things for if you don't have a doily, let's put it that way. This is a die cut, so you can die cut. You can do the same thing. These just won't, may not last as long because it's paper, although the doily's paper, and this one was paper, and it's lasted me quite a while. And then what's nice with these, once you do them, then you've got a coffee stained doily, okay, that just peels off. Some people use plastic. I'm not real successful. This was a tablecloth. I'm not real successful with the plastic. I need it to really hug down on the paper, and I can't seem to get it to do that. You might have better luck with it, but that's another idea. This is great. Let's see, where is it? I found it at Michael's in the clearance. I don't know where I put it. It was sitting right here next to me. It is a little packet of stencils, and they are great to do the same thing with doilies, to you know, tear it out of the little tablet and use it as a stencil. I apologize. I had it right here with me and I can't find it. So that's how I coffee dye. That's how I stamp. And let me show you one other thing that I do. When I need something really quick, this is a Xerox paper box cover. Okay. And I have a girlfriend that I saved this freezer paper with. I've lined it with freezer paper. This box I've had forever. And as long as I line it with the freezer paper, of course, it'll last. Okay. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll get a piece of paper. Let's just use this one. That has ink in it. And then if I need just one sheet real quick, I'll just spray it. Okay. Then I leave it in here overnight and it dries. So it's just, like I said, a quick way when you need one sheet or you need something and you need to, you know, have it instead of going through the process and waiting for it. And then what I do is I'll get another piece of paper and I'll just mop up the excess. I don't want to waste any of it. So this is what I'll do. And I like the results of this, and I can also spray a little bit more on it. And then I'll have, you know, it's spotted like this. Some people like this, okay? And then I'll just put it on my cardboard and let it dry. And then, like I said, I have a girlfriend that I saved this freezer paper for. She loves it. And again, it's just grunge. So it's kind of cool. So that's what I'll do. And then if I just want a little bit more coffee on it, I'll just spray it. Okay, and the droplets and everything. So that's how I do that. And there's no rhyme or reason because it ends up how it ends up. The other thing that I do is if I need a piece of fabric, I've done these in the box. This is a piece of muslin, and I did a big piece of it, and then I just tear it, okay? And this is the ticking. I've done the ticking in this box. Didn't need a whole lot, but it did it really quickly. And again, overnight, it's dry, okay? I did this in the box. I love this. This is actually a valance. So I've done this in the box, okay? Just coffee dyed it. I love that fabric. And then I've just had these scraps, and I'll coffee dye these. Again, I won't slow stitch with these probably, so I'll just use them in journals and little things, but I love this. And I believe I did some inking on it. I also have a walnut ink in a spray bottle, and I might have sprayed this when this fabric had coffee on it, and that's how I got that result. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. Okay, but again, I like how that just created that. And same with this piece. it's just a lot of fun. So that's that. And I think that's all I wanted to show you. But it's just my technique. Maybe you can get something from it. Maybe you want to try it. But it works for me. I've been doing this way for quite a while now. So anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. See you next time.